everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and today is Tea Tuesday. I missed last week just because I wasn't feeling it. I didn't have much to say, and now I am feeling it and I have a lot to say. So this one may be a little bit long. Grab your tea or coffee or whatever. I just have plain boring water like usual in my flamingo turbis jug. I just love this. Specifically this cup makes me feel like summertime. We did end up getting a Christmas turbis this year instead of a Christmas mug, and then I found one on discount after Christmas, so we're gonna have 2 Christmas turbises that I will also share in following videos. But these are my favorite things. I drink out of these pretty much all the time. It's just easy to fill them up and then go, and I love that it has a lid and a straw. I have different straws. These are just ones I found on Amazon. They're like rainbow metal. So I will always try to link to these because I will talk about them and praise them every time. Now that we're all hydrated and ready to go, I can set this puppy down and we can get into it. So first I want to address some comments I did receive from one specific person. Love, love, love your username. And first of all, I just don't have a dog in this fight. I am not completely on one person's side in this Tati versus Without a Crystal Ball situation. I know there are some ride or dies for Without a Crystal Ball, and there are also some ride or dies that are completely 100% against her no matter what. And I'm just not on either side. I just frankly don't give it. Like, it's not that important to me one way or the other. I couldn't care less pretty much about her or being a fan or an anti-fan of her. So I did get this comment from somebody who is clearly an anti-fan, and so I want to read through the comment. She did have very valid points, and then I want to also talk about it because it gave me actually a lot of thoughts, and so I wanted to go over that first. I will link to a relevant video where Emily D. Baker actually goes through the response of the lawsuit. Tati did respond back. Through her lawyer, they did respond back, and they're alleging a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. And I'm not really going to get into that part right now. Maybe at the end of this video, I'll talk about it a little more, but I'll link to that video so you can walk through step by step. She can explain all of it. She is an attorney, so she can go over all the legal part of it and tell you guys the translation. I don't really want to get into that. I'm not here to spout facts. I'm not here to tell you guys anything as solid truth. I'm just here to talk about the tea part of it. So I will link to that more factual, more unbiased video so you guys can see that. So I'm gonna read you guys what this person wrote. Their username is the best. It's Without Any Crystal Balls, not WOAC, Without a Crystal Ball. So this is her saying back to me. I was like, why does Tati give, like, it's so beneath her. That's basically my whole point. This person gave some information, but they're clearly an anti-fan. Like, with your username being Without Any Crystal Balls, you're an anti-fan. So that's where they're coming from it. And my side of things is like, I see both sides. Both people are being and I think neither one's going to come out of this looking like a hero. So I just don't get why either one is so invested all the way along. So here's what Without Any Crystal Balls says. 4 seasons assists over nearly 18 months, during which time Without a Crystal Ball grew from a few thousand subs to over 100,000 subs. James Charles begging KJ, which is Without a Crystal Ball, to stop talking about Tati Westbrook, for Without a Crystal Ball to turn around and accuse him of threatening her, followed by KJ, Without a Crystal Ball, declaring she will never stop, is not exactly the knee-jerk reaction in my opinion. And I think the knee-jerk reaction part of this, when I was saying, oh, it's such a knee-jerk reaction for Tati to sue her, it is like 11 days after getting sued, you're going to sue somebody else. And of course, I'm sure she was building the case all along. She's got a fine team of lawyers. They have sent cease and desist, so they did have a case, but it was the timing of her filing something seemed really suspicious to me. Like, she's trying to take views and eyes off of the other case where she looks really bad, and she's trying to make herself look like a victim in this other one. Like, she's picking on me, she's bullying me, this is our case, I've suffered because of this person. So I think that was the suspect part for me, the knee-jerk reaction part. Like, I got sued, okay, let's burn baby burn, let's get this other lawsuit filed. I think it was just I'm going to attack somebody because I have no control in this other thing that's happening. I feel like I'm being attacked. I look bad in this situation. Whether or not it's true, I don't know if any of the alleged stuff in that business partner lawsuit is true, but it looks pretty bad. Like, on the face value, if everything is true that was alleged, which probably it's like somewhere in between, if it's any part true, she looks kind of like, let's be honest, like, if you're screwing over your business partner, you look kind of So I feel like that was the knee-jerk reaction, like, oh my gosh, this is coming out, everybody's looking at this, I feel terrible about this. And Without a Crystal Ball was an easy target because she did say some things that are, again, nobody's acting really nice in this whole thing. Everybody's acting kind of badly in this whole situation. So she can go after her because she wanted to. Basically, like, she's got the money to burn, she's gonna do it on this, and that's where I think of it. That's where I say it's the knee-jerk reaction. She's reacting to, oh my gosh, I'm coming out looking like a fool in this, I'm gonna go after somebody else. That's where I felt like it was knee-jerk. To go on this, both of them, based on this information that she left for me, both of them look, I'm sorry, like, if you're gonna send cease and desist letters to somebody with 1,000 or a couple thousand subscribers and you have millions and millions of subscribers, why are you caring? Like, why? What does it matter to you if this little person's spouting their mouth? Like, you can just brush them off and be like, that person's clearly crazy or whatever it is that you want to call that person. They're clearly don't know anything about me. And you just brush it off. I'm sure Without a Crystal Ball is not the first, nor will she be the last that says really mean things about Tati. I mean, I'm sure tons of people have said mean things about Tati, and it's just interesting that she really clung on to this and wanted to crush Without a Crystal Ball when there are tons and tons of people saying nasty things about Tati in particular. So I feel like this is one where, yeah, she said some things that could be considered defamation, allegedly, like in the videos and stuff, it looks like defamation to me. But there are other people that have said the same stuff. Like, she's not the only one that said this. I think it's just Without a Crystal Ball for some reason got under Tati's skin, and that's where everything came from. And during this time, like, okay, we all know that she got sent for cease and desist because she talked about it. Like, this gave her more of a platform. This gave her more power and more voice. And she went from a few thousand subs, like this person says, to over 100,000 subs. And that's because Tati went after her. Like, that's because she sent those cease and desist. If Tati had said nothing, if Tati had left her alone, she would still be at a few thousand subs. So Tati did this to herself in part, you know, by going after her, sending the cease and desist. And I know to some point, like, that's what you kind of have to do to protect your brand. So I see Tati's side of it, but at the same time, like, if it's a few thousand subscriber person on YouTube saying something you don't like that is completely untrue, brush it off. I mean, that's how I feel about it. This person's saying these crazy allegations. Why give them the time of day? Why give them a platform? Why raise them up and go after them? Because it looks like, from my side of things, like from my complete opinion, it looks like maybe Without a Crystal Ball said something correct and Tati doesn't like it. And that's why Tati's trying to silence her. It's not that she just said a bunch of random crazy and not that many people are believing it, which I was surprised that in the lawsuit, I will link down below the information from Emily D. Baker, in that she does have some testimonies from people saying, I totally believed what Without a Crystal Ball said, and I never bought Halo Beauty stuff again because of it. And I was like, how can you guys believe everything you hear from somebody on the internet? Like, I can't believe people would take it as gospel and not research it for themselves. Like, if you love these vitamins that you're taking and they're helping you, and you find something out about the person behind it, wouldn't you research it and see if more than one person is claiming all this stuff? It just seems really, really gullible, especially in this day and age, that people would just blindly believe something that somebody says. Like, if you watch my videos and if you watched me for years and years, I still hope you don't blindly follow everything I say. Like, I really hope you go to more than one source to make sure if I'm saying something that I say is fact, that you're actually researching it and making sure that it is fact. Because I can be wrong too, even if I don't want to be wrong. I could say the wrong thing. I could say something is a fact that could be completely wrong. So I really hope that you are even sourcing, even if you've been with me for years and years and you do trust me, and I hope that you do because I try to be really honest, but at the same time, like, I can't believe that so many people apparently really believe Without a Crystal Ball, because when I watch some of her stuff, I think a lot of times I feel like she's full of and that's just my opinion. Like, some of the stuff that she's saying sounds like just her complete opinion, and people go really like off the beaten path sometimes. And I feel like when I was watching her stuff, I felt like that. I felt like she was making things more dramatic than it should be. And that's why I told you guys, I've watched some of her videos when I've looked up various drama. I've watched her opinion on things, and I just, for some reason, it didn't click with me. Like Peter Mon, I will watch every Peter Mon video. I really like his personality. I like what he has to say. I feel like he doesn't make things extra salacious. He just says what it is and gives his opinion on it. Where I felt like Without a Crystal Ball, she went a little bit too far some of the time and went off the beaten path, said some really strong opinions that I felt like she was too into. So I just didn't jive very well with that and her personality in general, just because different personalities, I guess. But at the same time, like if she comes after me and starts talking about me, maybe I would address it in a video and be like, well, in my opinion, maybe some people need to check their mental health, you know, say something like that and not give her power. And even addressing it at all gives her power. Even sending her a cease and desist that she can later talk about and put on a headline on a video and grab people's attention, that gives her power. That gives her a platform. And I feel like everything that Tati did along the way just gave her more ammunition, like more fuel to keep going with it. So I feel like, especially maybe Without a Crystal Ball thought, ooh, maybe I'm onto something. Maybe I'm touching a raw nerve. Maybe I need to explore this even more. And that's why she didn't want to stop. So I can see her side of things. I also see Tati's side of things. It's gotta really freaking suck that people say things about you, especially if they're not true. Like I've seen things just in my own comment section about me, and I'm like, you don't even know me. Like you see me on videos and you can get an idea of me, but some of the things people even said about me sting a little bit. And I can't imagine being in the 5 million or millions and millions of subscriber range where there are gonna be a lot of haters too. And haters are gonna say crazy, and you just have to have really thick skin. And I definitely think Tati does not. I definitely don't think she does. And I think it's really shown in a lot of her victim mentality. Like when people came after her for the James Charles accusations, when James Charles had receipts to back up that no, he didn't do all the things that Tati said that he did, she blamed other people for coercing her into making the video, which I'm like, you're a grown woman. Why are you listening to other people and doing their bidding? Like, I think it was all suspect. I don't believe that they forced her into making the video or coerced her into making it. I think she did it on her own, and she's trying to find somebody else to blame when she looked bad. Like she thought she was gonna come out a hero, and then she didn't. And then she had to have other people to blame. So I think she handled that whole thing. Like, if you're such good friends with James Charles, call him on the phone and talk to him. Don't make a video about him and blast him on the internet and accuse him of a lot of things. I think she handled that really badly. And when it all came out, when she posted her video, everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is so horrible. And they went to burn James Charles at the stake. He came back with some receipts and people are like, oh, burn Tati at the stake. I think everybody should have taken a step back and found the truth somewhere. Anyway, going into a tangent, I'm still talking about Without Any Crystal Balls comment. So she has a couple of things. There are multiple playlists on my channel that explain just a few of KJ's seemingly endless and never-ending incidents resulting from Without a Crystal Ball's apparent persistent and pervasive pattern of problematic behavior. There's also an entire subreddit with over 5,000 members documenting and sharing receipts of her behavior, which I've seen some of her Twitter behavior because Emily D. Baker has talked about some of her recent Twitter behavior, and I definitely believe that there are a lot of anti Without a Crystal Ball fans because she definitely seems problematic. She goes in hard, and I don't believe a lot of what she says. I feel like she makes up just to stir the pot a lot of times. And this is, again, all my opinion. All these Tea Tuesdays are all my opinion, but I'm not a real fan of hers. I'm not a real fan of Tati's either. I don't give a about either one of these, to be honest. So I'm just in it for the drama, in it to see what happens, and I'm interested to see how it's playing out because it's so crazy. The whole thing's crazy. I don't care how much you don't like somebody. If they send you 4 cease and desist, you think you would shut up? You think you would just find something else to talk about? And so I feel like her declaring she will never stop seems problematic. Seems like there's trouble there on her side of things, like something's wrong there. But also for Tati to send 4 cease and desist and get all her panties in a wad over this, it just seems suspect. Like maybe if enough people were contacting her like, hey, this person's spouting these things, are these true? Maybe she could address it and be like, I've sent her a cease and desist. I think she's mentally unstable or whatever of her opinion she has of the person, and just kind of blow it off. Like, don't do what she's doing. I feel like it's a little suspect. So I don't care enough to go look at the Reddits. I don't care enough to look at the history there. I can see from some of the stuff I've seen that Without a Crystal Ball is definitely problematic, and so is Tati. Tati accused somebody of some serious accusations that is very scary. So I think she's problematic as well. I don't think either one of them are angels. And then I'm not going to read the rest of the comment. She did leave a much longer comment, and this is on the Tea Tuesday. What's this video? I'll link this video down below so you can check the comments. She had a really good comment, and if what she's saying is completely true, then definitely Without a Crystal Ball is super problematic, but I don't care. I don't care to research it that much. I'm just giving you guys my opinion where I think both of them are wrong. Like, just let it go on both sides and maybe call a truce before you guys, first of all, one of you bankrupt yourself, and the other one just look bad and waste all your money and time and energy on this. Just feel like both of them need to just be like, okay, we're not going to talk about each other. Let's go our separate ways and call it a truce, because it's just costing them both way too much. The whole thing's costing them way too much. And I feel like it's just not worth it on either end. And we've gone through a lawsuit personally, and it is a hard thing to do. It took us, gosh, a year and a half or 2 years of our life. And we realized the cost was way more than just the money. It was so stressful. I'm not sure how we made it through. It was hard. And I just can't imagine Tati willingly going into a second lawsuit when she already has the first one to deal with. It's a lot. And thankfully she has like a lot of means, so it's not going to be a financial burden. It was for us, and I'm pretty sure it is for Without a Crystal Ball as well. It doesn't seem like she's raking in millions and millions, so it's going to be a financial burden for her to keep fighting this fight. So I feel like they need to just both come together and be like, what is it going to take to end this? And sign a peace treaty or something to just end this. But that's basically it. I don't see either side of it looking good. Like, I understand that Without a Crystal Ball completely attacked Tati, made lots of videos about her. Tati's so big that I feel like it's such small fish, such small things. Now that she's gone through with this, it gives Without a Crystal Ball more people looking at her, more people listening to what she has to say. I still maintain my same thing, that it's just seemingly pointless. Like, what are you gonna get out of it? You're gonna bankrupt a family? Okay. Like, you're not going to make tons of money back. Like, I don't think it's even costing her that much money. Like, she got a couple of testimonies where people believed her and stopped taking the vitamins. I think it was more about the Bi Sisters situation costing her business than actually what Without a Crystal Ball said. And it's going to be hard to parse that out. And I think that's going to be part of Without a Crystal Ball's argument. Like, okay, this happened all the same time that she accused somebody and it backfired on her, and she probably lost a lot of business from that. So how are you going to say that it's one piece of this and I'm the only one costing her business? Tati can show this is how much we made every month, and then it started dipping. Well, it's probably the same time Without a Crystal Ball was saying things and the same time Bi Sister stuff was happening. So I don't know how she's going to prove that it's one over the other. I had to get another sip. So I feel like she can definitely prove that there's some defamation based on just the videos. Like, there are videos of Without a Crystal Ball saying some of the things that are defamatory just on face value. Calling somebody a career criminal is kind of defamatory, like, let's be real. But what is she going to prove as far as the damages of that? I just don't see a lot of damages coming from that. In the response, there were some damages she alleged, like therapy, loss of sleep, things like that, that she can be like, okay, here's my medical bill for XYZ. And this is part of our case. So like, we talked about damages as far as our case too. Like, when we had the firehouse, which if you followed me, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you can find the videos on my channel. One of the things our attorney said, like, it's going to be hard to prove damages. Like, okay, were you guys medicated? Then you can put your receipts for your medication on there as damages. Did you have to, were you so depressed that you had to seek therapy and get medicine and all this stuff? Write those receipts down and the medical bills associated with that. Yeah, but we didn't do any of that. So like, we didn't have actual damages in that respect. There wasn't a whole lot to gain from part of our lawsuit as far as the damages goes. There were a couple of tangible damages, but not like what Tati's saying, like, oh, she lost sleep, she was really stressed out and all these things. You can get some of your medical expenses covered and stuff like that, but it's going to be just harder to prove. That part's really hard to prove. And especially the lack of sales, that's going to be hard to prove based on what all went down at the exact same time. So I'm really interested to see how it will play out. When Emily D. Baker breaks it down and talks about each thing, I just imagine a judge who has no idea what any of this is. He doesn't understand tea, and he's looking at this and he's like, what the f is all this stuff? Like, what the f are you guys talking about? It just doesn't make sense. And I can see him like trying to learn some of the terminology and being like, you guys are all crazy. I just imagine the attorneys trying to teach the judge like what all this YouTube stuff is. But anyway, that is it for this video. This is actually the last video I'm filming of 2020, which is crazy. I do have a few more videos that will pop up on this channel, but this is my last official video I filmed. It's just a few days after Christmas. I'm gonna hop into my 30 days of Apple Fitness video and talk, so I'll be wearing the same stuff, but I just wanted to tell you guys Happy New Year, because the New Year's coming. 2021 will be a much better year, I hope, for all of us. I will continue these Tea Tuesdays into 2021. They may not be every Tuesday, but I hope you guys will give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you can follow me along. Also, continue the conversation down below. I would love to know your thoughts. If you've watched the Emily D. Baker breakdown of the response from Tati's lawyers, I would love to know what you guys think. It was just so much information. I'm still like digesting it. I feel like I need to watch it again because it's just so much information, and like take notes on my thoughts on it. But that's gonna be it for today. I would love to know what you guys think about all this. Be sure to continue the conversation down below. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.